I'm rolling.
Right.
Let's hope.
All right.
We can enjoy watching the process.
You look nice in your
without
Carolina blue
Thank
today.
you. Appreciate it. Hat, shirt, everything.
Yeah.
So, what's going on? All right. Questions.
Coach, with backup quarterback, Mac has said that that's really your priority this spring. What kind of progress have you seen with guys making moves off or down to that?
Well, we're making some progress. You know, I think Connor, obviously a little bit more experienced, been here a little longer. I see him really getting better. Like the last couple of times out, I think he's making better decisions. You know, and getting the ball out of his hand on time, which is a key. You know, a lot of times young quarterbacks will hold the ball some, and we've really worked hard on that. Also, I think there's certain things Connor does really well that we got to continue to try to do from a game plan standpoint if he were playing. And then obviously Tad has come in as a true freshman, really should be in high school still. And some days he doesn't look like that, and some days he kind of looks like he's new, still figuring it all out. Because every day, you know, is somewhat of a new scenario or maybe some new install or something. But I like his progress. He is studying. He's making some mistakes, but he's not repeating them, which is always a good thing. And then Jefferson Boaz too, I think, is coming along. You know, Boaz has been around here for a long time, and at least you got some confidence. You feel like he can go in and execute the offense and get us in communication-wise and get us in the right play and so forth. I think we're making progress from that standpoint, but really not ready now to have a pecking order yet, other than those guys continue to get reps the rest of the way through.
Some of the guys we've talked to the last few weeks have mentioned that there is a different snap count now. Last year, I guess they just went on sound, and even to the point where there's actually a cadence, and that they've struggled a little bit with it. Some of the timing, Copenever said that it was taking a while to get used to that.
Yeah, and I don't have any idea kind of what they did last year. I just know kind of what we do. We want to have ways to vary the snap count for sure, you know, and is variate a word? I think it is. Variate. Anyway.
It's close enough.
It's good enough.
I started thinking about that, like, is that a word? No. I think you have to have ways, you know, whether you're going fast, whether you're not going fast, whatever it is. So anytime things are new, some verbiage or things, I think, you know, you go through some growing pains with that. But like today, I thought we were much, much better, and we'll continue to improve on that.
Is there a variety to the cadence that the quarterback's using your offense?
Yeah, you know, if you're in tempo, there's a certain cadence. If you're not, there's a certain cadence. Quarterbacks, just like I guess in the NFL or anywhere, they got an opportunity they can change the snap count or whatever. We don't want to you know, be I guess predictable in our snap count, but you know, some of that just depends game plan and so forth. But I guess to our guys, some of that is new, so there's still some growing pains at times. But like I said, the last few days, I think it's been really good.
How have you seen like your signature kind of start to show itself on the offense?
Oh man, I don't have any. I mean, all I know is we're trying to put good plays on top of good plays, create explosives, be better on third down, be better in the red zone. You know, not have lost yardage plays, which are, you know, obviously turnovers, TFLs, sacks. So I'm not as concerned about my signature. I want it to be our offense, North Carolina's offense. And, you know, to do that, I think even as a high school coach, that my background is you build it around your best players. And whatever it looks like, there's good, you know, there's not a lot of new plays that some people run and some people don't. Everybody does a lot of the same things. I think we got to figure out what we're really good at and continue to do those things in a lot of different, you know, in a lot of different ways with a lot of different looks, and build the offense around the strengths of our players.
What do you kind of, obviously we know about Drake, but what are you starting to see as those strengths and maybe some of those players?
Well, I think Drake May is one of our strengths, I would say. Is that an understatement? Probably. All right.
It's a breaking news
Yeah,
there.
breaking news. No, I think obviously good teams start with a quarterback, and I think, you know, when you talk about everybody else, how do we build the offense around his strengths, which obviously we know what they are, and then, you know, to do that we have to be better in pass pro. We have to be better at running the football to help him to keep those guys from being able to pin their ears back and rush us all the time. And I think that's where we're continuing to grow, is up front in the O-line. Obviously with a new O-line coach, some new terminology, new techniques, maybe new footwork, maybe, you know, some of that. We're continuing to grow into that area. And then, you know, being able to run the football. I think our backs are excited. We're trying to run the ball a little downhill more, which is something I think that will help us. And then the passing game wise, we have wideouts, but that are talented guys. That a few we need to step up and take that next step, I think, to have a complete unit. But I'm pleased with the progress they're making. And then the tight end room, I think, is one of the strengths on our team as well. And the reason is because they're very versatile. They can line up with their hand on the ground, in the hip, flexed out, and I think that's going to help us as we get toward the season and continue to start, you know, growing as an offense.
You mentioned some things there, but I mean, are there any little tweaks you've made to the offense, whether it be like the way things line up or
I would not tell you if we did, right? I don't want to. No, I mean, I'll be honest with you, when I first got here, I studied what they did before from the standpoint of conceptually and the concepts that they ran and so forth, just so I had an idea. But at the end of the day, like when we go through an install, like I'm putting it in how I see it and how we've done it at other places and things that they've already been good at here that we've kept and been doing. So I would tell you it's kind of a mix, of that. One of the things would be to come in here and not do the things they've been good at, right? And that's something that I'm trying to maintain. We all run some variation of 4 verticals. It's just a matter of how you teach it and how you present it. And so that's a good example. But I think in the running game, we've tried to make a conscious effort. We're a little different style, I think, than they have been. Again, I mentioned we want to be a little bit more downhill and be more physical. And to do that, though, our players have to buy in, and they have. And now we're not perfect. We've still got a lot of work to do. We play against a really talented defensive front every day, which should help us. But at the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, we want to create explosives in the run and pass game, and we got to find ways to do that.
Well, Drake May, you obviously watching this tape.
Yeah.
When you got here, and we talked to you after, I guess, 1 practice.
Right.
After 10 practices, what has surprised you? Is there anything that surprised you that kind of stands out about him as a quarterback?
I think the thing that probably I didn't know before was he's really intelligent. He's really smart, football smart. His football IQ is really high. I mean, he does well in school. I mean, he's got a great GPA and all that, but he understands every aspect of offense, from offensive line play to who should be working to who in zone schemes, to who we're working to in pass sets and pass protections. He's able to change the protections. That's something that he's taken to really quickly, and they did some of that before too. But I think that would be the thing that, not knowing him from the outside, you see the talent, you see the physical skills. That hadn't surprised me a bit. But getting here and really realize he's a football junkie. He understands football. He loves it. And very, very intelligent player.
Chip, along those lines with Drake,
Yep.
like what would be, 1 or 2 or 3 things that you want him hearing from you sort of on a regular basis? Or what are some of the constant feedback that you just try to give him as you're, coaching him?
Well, I think when you play that position, the team they respond to you. So you need your body language, your energy, your attitude needs to always be good. It needs to be you got to be a guy that can bring people with you and lead them, and he has that natural ability. And I think he's only really been the starter here for 1 year, and I wasn't here last year, but when he became the starter, he probably earned that by the way he approached work every day in practice, and then he went out and played well on top of it. So now he's got credibility, right? And now when he says something, those guys listen. I mean, I've seen him interact with our players at all positions. They look him in the eye when he's talking to them. I think he's got natural leadership ability, and things that I wanted to know is from a standpoint of leading our offense is just to be confident, be positive, be able to correct guys without, demeaning them and downplaying them. And I think he does a great job of mixing that. There's a time to get after someone, and there's a time to encourage, and I think he's got a really good knack of knowing when to do that.
Aside from Tez and Nate and Kobe and J.J. Jones, who's not participating in the spring, how deep would you like to go in the wide receiver room, and how deep do you think you'll be able to go?
We'd like to for sure. Lonnie and I were talking about this the other day. We'd like to for sure be 6 deep, in all 3 spots, because we do play a tight end most all the time. Now we have the ability to play 10 personnel, but what would be in a perfect world would be 6 deep. I think we're close to that. I feel really good about 4, and then I feel like there's 3 or 4 other guys that could compete for those other 2 spots. Because at the end of the day, you're probably going to play about 6 guys if you can. I think we're 3 deep at tight end, which we consider those guys a part of our receiving core as well. We got some talented guys that are interchangeable. They're very versatile, and I think that's a help. But if we could get to where we felt really good about 6 guys at the wideout position, I think we'd be in good shape.
Is Andre Green in that conversation?
Andre Green's definitely one of the guys especially the last 2 days. I don't know how much practice you guys got to see, but he's taking those steps forward. And I think for him, just playing with confidence all the time, and being able to let his natural ability take over. Sometimes guys get out and they think too much, and they slow themselves down. We just want him to relax and go play, and he's done a better job the last 2 days.
When you say you have 4, who's up 4th?
All right, let's see. You got Tez, you got Nate, you got
Kobe.
Gavin.
Okay.
Gavin would definitely be a guy. And those guys, I'll mention those guys because they're very experienced, right? Andre obviously came on, and I know he had a good bowl game. I was here for that. And then one of these new guys, and of course we got one kid that's not here yet, but I've seen some good things out of Paul at times. I've seen some good things out of Christian at times. But at the end of the day, they're still freshmen, still learning. So there are some roller coaster days up and down. But I think those 4 definitely, and Andre being in that mix as well. That's probably 5 then if you felt really good about it.
And JJ
we need
as well.
one more to step up. And JJ I haven't seen yet. In the bowl game, to be honest with you, I still learn everybody's names then. But and then since the spring's gone around, we'll get him back this summer. And, I imagine he'll be in that role. He's played. He's an experienced guy.
That's good.
I just
Good?
had a question about the running backs.
Yeah.
Omarion, I covered him in high school here. We obviously saw his talent flash last year.
Yeah.
We're curious though. I felt like watching him. I saw like maybe that he was coached to kind of not dance or do things like that. He's so athletic. I mean, what do you guys kind of talk to him about his running style?
Well, he's a downhill runner. I think what we're doing in the run game really fits him. Elijah as well. I mean, those 2 guys are similar in that respect. And I haven't seen much of Caleb yet. He's been limited. But Omarion is extremely talented. I think you're right. He's explosive. He's big. He's physical. He's one of those guys that when he hits you, you go backwards. I mean, he's a heavy guy, but he's also got the ability to run away from you. I think for him, it's just continuing to learn to be a running back at this level and understanding, defenses and fronts and how to read and on every run that we run. There's certain things their eyes should be in certain spots and their aiming points got to be right. And he's just got to continue to grow in that area. But he can catch the ball in the backfield. He's really good in pass pro because he's physical. And those guys, they're not just running through there without paying attention. He and Elijah both have been really physical in pass pro, and I like to see that.
You're about 3 months into your tenure here. What do you think about Chapel Hill, UNC?
Yeah,
What do you like about it?
I love it. It's been a lot of fun getting to know the people here, and this place is such a neat place. I got here and went through basketball season. I got to go through and see a game there. That was huge. I'd never been to one before, and that was a great experience. I've been over to see baseball play. I've been over to see lacrosse play. It's just fun seeing the variety of different things we have. I know my family's excited about it. They enjoy coming around. We got great facilities. We got a great program. We got a fan base, I think, that's excited about our team and our program. So nothing but good things, and this has been a great experience so far. Looking forward to it.
Chip, when we got to watch you guys scrimmage in Keenan the other Saturday when it was a little rainy, before you got started, it looked like you were working with the quarterbacks on their drops or their footwork, and Clyde's over there sort of watching the whole thing and smiling and wincing some. Like, what has your interaction been with him?
I got no idea what Clyde's talking about. He's over there laughing. I'm not sure. But, no, it's been good. I mean, Clyde's obviously a great guy. And, like I said, there's certain things that we want our quarterbacks to do inside the offense that we run. Clyde's experience has been a lot more under center. So, for us, I just want the quarterbacks to be very uniformed on what they're doing. Certain drops, certain concepts to get certain drops, and run game footwork is extremely important, the way we do it. And Randy Clements and I have been kind of dealing, we're on the same page with that. We've been trying to work together for 6 or 7 years probably, so it's worked out good. But I like the progress our guys are making. And it just it's something you got to do every day. And I grade them every day on their footwork, especially in the scrimmage when, things are kind of moving and the ball's moving. It's not 4-play scripts. It's a different deal. You got drives, and I want their footwork to be the right footwork on every play. And they're doing a better job of that. I'm excited about it. And like I said, there's a lot of ways to teach a drop. But I think for us, I just want it to be consistent. We got a plan. This is how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to do. And we got to do that as much as we can.
Well, I guess with Clyde, I was kind of going to ask you, like, how's the working relationship with him, and just, like, obviously getting him up to speed, and you're still learning this place too. Like, what's that? Are you guys kind of holding each other's hands a little bit here?
Not really. No, I wouldn't say that. But no, Clyde's a great guy. He's definitely a resource for it. We got a lot of great coaches on our staff. Clyde's going to help us as we go through the season, do some advanced scouting and stuff like that. So, but he's still learning our offense too. The offense that we have is an offense that I've run for a long time. We just have used some of the terms and things that they've already had here. So that'd be a question for Clyde probably. But I think it's going great. I've enjoyed getting to know him. He's a great guy. He's a North Carolina guy. So it's been a lot of fun.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chip.